Knotty here, I'm about to do my thing. Look at what the future bring, letting my producer swing. This is Martin Luther King. I speak about peace, though I read about beasts. Let the freedom out cease. I be in the southeast, and my mama told me not to curse.
Welcome back. Another segment of Roundtable. I'm Michael Barclift here with Randy Brown, Elijah Morgado, and our guest speaker, young Mr. Elijah Coles Brown. So, when we left off, we were discussing some of the importance of early education, and Brother Morgado mentioned about how it is important to know yourself. And you quoted a quote that your mother always teaches you.
Yeah, to know who I am and whose I am.
Okay, now what does that mean? If
well,
people don't know?
To know who you are, you have to know who you are as a person. And to know whose you are, you have to know what you are doing. So I feel it's very important. It's very important.
And who are you?
I'm Elijah Coles Brown. I'm a motivational speaker, and I have my own company named Dreamers Imagine.
And what do you give it up? That's right.
Yes, yes, that's who I am.
All thanks to Mother here.
Right. And what are your future goals?
Well, what I want to do when I grow up is to be an engineer. And as you can see, I have a little pin here. It says NSBE, which stands for National Society of Black Engineers. So what I'm doing is I'm pursuing my dream of becoming an engineer by being in this company, and I'm actually the president of my local chapter. So it's very important. They do a bunch of workshops, and they do math counts, and we build a race car throughout the year, and you can drive the race car. What you get in high school, and it's such a good program. You have pilot lessons, you have all of that, and then at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, in March, every year they do a conference, a national conference, and this year we're going to Boston. Last year we went to California.
Right, and you spoke at the conference?
Yes, actually I did. Last year I spoke at the conference in California. It was really unexpected because the national board, one of the national board members was actually teaching the workshop, but I didn't know that. So when they mentioned the I Have a Dream speech, because they were doing a public speaking workshop, so that when they mentioned the I Have a Dream speech and they were talking about his vocals and his gestures, and I was mentioning the fact that I knew the I Have a Dream speech, and so they were like, well, get up here and do it. So I did it, and then they wanted me to speak in front of 10,000. So it was really a great experience.
Was that your biggest audience? 10,000?
Probably so far, yes.
Okay, all right, so far. So also, real quick, you also spoke, I saw this online, you spoke at the NAACP.
The Freedom for Justice,
right.
The march.
Right, now that was about voting rights.
The voters' rights.
Now how did that go? Tell us about that.
Well, that went great. It went great. The speech I did, I was talking about how in the time, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and how we have to exercise our right to vote and everything like that. And I was given some history about Dr. King at the time, about Bloody Sunday when the marchers marched on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and they got brutally beaten. And then the third march, which was the successful one, I believe, and that's when they were under the protection of federal troops. I don't know if you heard that part.
Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard this. So tell me, what does voting mean to you? Why is it so important that we get out there and vote?
It's so important because our vote is our voice, and I'm just kind of quoting this speech right now. So our vote is our voice, and if we say nothing, we know nothing. And if we know nothing, we do nothing. So what we need to do is go out and vote, because when we vote, our vote is our voice. So that means that we're telling who we want in office, whether it's the president or the senator or the governor or whoever it is. We're telling who we want in office, why we want them in office, what we expect for you to do while you're in office, because it's better for our community. And when you are elected in a position, you are worried about the community and the concern of the community. You're not worried about yourself, you're worried about the community as a whole. And even if it's a big position, you're worried about everyone. You're worrying about the nation, you're worrying about the state, you're worrying about the school system, the police department, you're worried about whoever you are elected to position.
And do you think that by exercising our right to vote, we do an honor to those who paid that sacrifice on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and places like that?
Yes, sir, because if it wasn't for Dr. King, then we wouldn't be in the position we are today. If it wasn't for Dr. King and all of his soldiers and everyone who was participating in the civil rights movement, we might not be able to vote now. We might not be able to walk in the streets without having to get shot, even though that's still happening today. We wouldn't be able to walk in the streets without having to worry about these police dogs and these water hoses and carpet bombs in our houses and these destructional items in the community. We wouldn't have to worry about that. But if Dr. King and all of his people who followed him and everyone who participated and led in the civil rights movement, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in the position we are today. So not exercising your right to vote is like saying, I don't care that you died to get us the right to vote. I don't care that you died so that we can walk in the streets without having fear of the police today, even though that's still happening today with the Freddie Grays and the Sandra Brown, the Sandra Browns and everyone in these streets getting shot out here today. So it's such a hard time, but Dr. King fought and we won. But if we don't exercise our right to vote, it's like he fought for nothing.
I think if he could see you today, he would be very proud of the work you're doing and very proud of you, using his words to re-energize.
Knotty here, I'm about to do my thing. Look at what the future bring. Letting my producer swing. This is Martin Luther King. I speak about peace, though I read about beasts. Let the freedom out cease. I be in the southeast, and my mama told me not to curse round nurses. Back in the days when they burned down churches, lottery picks spitting first round verses. Not signing up for the downtown circus. The bloodstained spillers, I sell painkillers. You so transparent, cellophane dealers. 20 years still looking in the same mirror. I turn fishermen into hurricane fibers. The name overflow means I'm too long-winded. You all out of breath with my first song ended.